what I've come to realize that a lot of problems exist because people don't necessarily have experience in the thing that they are trying to assess or see. And, we have these problems all the time, right? Where people at one particular skill level is trying to make some sort of inference about something else, right? So we have these problems whenever you're buying something, right? You're trying to buy something and you're like, how do I assess the quality of this particular thing? What people don't realize, and they haven't got a clue, is how much work went into creating something. And it creates a sort of all sorts of weird problems that happen where people are like, they just really don't have a good sense of what it means to do something. And so they think either it should be rated or, that they should pay less for something. Often it's not necessarily that they want to pay more, but, they want to pay less for something. They don't necessarily think it's good enough quality, like all sorts of different things. And it boils down to often is that people just don't understand what happens to go in to make something. So the simplest thing that I can get people to understand is get them to make a toaster. There's actually a great video online. It's like a TED Talk of somebody trying to make his own toaster. It seems pretty simple, right? It's pretty like everybody takes it for granted. But when you actually go to do it, you'll realize it is bloody hard to do. And so instead of taking it for granted, or instead of like thinking that, all of this is like super easy and taking it for granted, yeah, I know that nobody's going to listen to this. It's like such a small group of people, but I just want you to marvel in the complexity of actually doing something once you actually start to do it. Take a step back and see if you could do it yourself without somebody helping you or buying something. And then, once you determine that, you just got to marvel in actually what you do, and you can be a lot more grateful when you see things in this world around you like, holy crap, how did somebody actually do that? How did they put that thing together? That would have took a lot of work. You'll be a lot more appreciative, you'll be a lot more grateful if you just take a step back and you just realize that things are really hard. Once you take those steps forward to do something, you'll begin to realize that none of it is easy. It all takes an unbelievable amount of work, and often an unbelievable amount of different kinds of resources. But just appreciate the world around you. That's all I want you to just sort of stop and think and say, when there's car that I'm driving or there's bicycle that I'm riding, it was actually really hard to make this thing. This is incredible. I should be very grateful for the fact that I'm on it, because it's a modern miracle to see these things. So that's how I want you to stop and think about, is just appreciate how complicated and difficult things are, and take the time to actually try to do it yourself. And once you try to do it yourself, you realize you can't do it for the most part. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. I do appreciate each and every one of you.